Morning, y'all. It's November 22nd, 6:37 a.m. It's a little chilly this morning. So, question for you. What's in your bug out bag? If it's Bermuda shorts and a floppy hat, probably the wrong time of year. So, put some socks in there. Put a toboggan cap in there, watch cap. Different people from different parts of the country call it different things, but one of these, maybe grow one of these if you can. Ladies, not recommended, but men, if you can, get a beard. They're fun. Put a sweatshirt in there, extra heavy socks, maybe some long handle underwear, whatever you got, just cold weather gear. Have it in your rucksack. Have some in your car. If your car breaks down, and this has happened to me several times in New York because we grew up poor and our vehicles were less than reliable. So, born and raised in upstate New York. Made it to Texas just as quick as I could by way of 38 of the lower 48 United States for work and or life. So, but anyway, in upstate New York, it snows a lot and it gets cold. And the best vehicle, a brand new pickup truck, can have trouble starting. It gets that cold, okay? So there's been many a time we've been more or less stranded, and all we had what was in the car or in the truck to keep warm. So kind of ingrained in my psyche is always have a couple of blankets with you and have some water with you and something to munch on, right? Some calories to put into the machine to keep it fueled, keep making body heat. So, now if you're a mom, you probably have a whole bunch of crap in your car, right? There's some snacks in there, and there's probably a blankie, and, you got some stuff. Men were not as good about that as I've noticed. So, just have a little bag of stuff in your car, your truck, that, your cold weather gear, that if something should happen, your car breaks down or there's an ice storm. What is it, 4 or 5 years ago, we had that really bad ice here in North Texas. I was pulling people all over the place in my two-wheel drive 1-ton because I know how to drive on ice because I'm from the north. Which, just a side note, if you have a big 1-ton dually jacked up, riding on 43s with a bumper winch and a pair of truck nuts hanging off the back of it, 4-door, 4-wheel drive, 6-inch exhaust, that doesn't mean you can go 50 miles an hour on ice, because you're going to do this and run off the side of the road. And a side note to the side note, if you're going to have a giant truck like that, please go get it dirty, do some work with it, earn some money with it, make it an asset, not a liability. I can't stand brand new pretty trucks that don't earn any money. So that's just me. If you're spending money on it, it ought to earn you something, right? My dad told me when I was a kid, I wanted a new car when I was 16. And he said, no, you can't have a car. Buy a truck. It was my money. I wanted to buy whatever I wanted to buy. He said, no, buy a pickup truck. And that really, I wasn't happy about that. Well, to this day, I've never owned a car for my personal driver. They've all been pickup trucks because my first truck was an 84 Ford Ranger, little 2.3 4-cylinder and a 5-speed, and I bought that truck for $500, and I earned at least $150,000 with that truck. That's why I bought a truck. That's why he wanted me to buy a truck, because what he said was a car will cost you money, a truck will earn you money. So, a side note to the side note. But yeah, it's getting cool out there, guys. So be prepared accordingly. The other thing that's on my mind is, if you can't lay your hands on it within 15 minutes or so, you don't own it. If you have a whole bunch of stuff that you never touch, you never use, it's the time of year right now where that one platter that the turkey sits on comes out of the cabinet or out of the box up in the attic, and then you put a turkey on it, You know, eat dinner, clean it up again, dry it, put it back in the box, put it back in the cabinet, whatever. Stuff like that, for a utilitarian like me, drives me insane. If you don't use it or you rarely use it, get rid of it. Give it to somebody else. Sell it, donate it, trash it, recycle it, whatever. Get rid of it. But also your tools and your equipment. If you know, I just know I have a shovel around here somewhere and it takes you a half an hour to find it, you don't have a shovel. Because when you need it, you can't find it. It doesn't count. Okay? So just be mindful of having your stuff squared away. Professional chefs are familiar with the term mise en place. It's French for a place for everything and everything in its place. So try and be organized, know what you have, know why you have it, and eliminate the unitaskers, the things that only do one thing, unless they only do one thing really well. If you have a rifle that can put 10 rounds inside of a paper plate at 1,000 yards in under a minute, keep that rifle. It's a unitasker, but what it does very well, right? But there's certain things, we all have stuff we don't use and we don't need, so get rid of it. Let it go. Don't be defined by all your crap, and make sure you can find your crap when you need your crap, or you don't own your crap owns you. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll talk to you later.